Quinella Gibrilya. I am from Universitas Indonesia. I am studying English Studies, and right now I'm currently in Ireland. Studying in University of Limerick as I am one of the IISMA awardees. So today I'm going to tell you my experience during my arrival here in Ireland. So when I first arrived here in Ireland, we first arrived in the Dublin airport, and then we have to take a bus from Dublin to Limerick because it's a 2 hours away. And after that, we arrived in our dorm, which is Capavilla Village, and that's when we started to do our quarantine. So we have to do our quarantine for 7 days, and during that time span, the study abroad team has managed an interesting program of online orientation. So they always have, every day they always made online orientation for us. For example, they explain about how the university works, how can you choose your major, and we also have a mixer session in which we can meet other study abroad students. So basically, they have arranged a number of activities for the 7 days during our quarantine. And on the 7th day of our quarantine, we have to take a PCR test, and after that, 2 days after that, we will get the result, and if we are negative, we can proceed to go out from our quarantine. So that's basically what we did during our quarantine. Oh, during our quarantine, we also become closer with the Indonesian friends, as we are arranged in one dorm with 6 other Indonesian friends. Therefore, we can get to know them more. We got to spend time with them more. And I remember the first time when I arrived here, UL has a very spectacular view and sceneries, as it is surrounded with green landscapes and amazing architectures. So I was very excited at that time to study here in UL. From my experience during the quarantine, now I'm going to tell you about the cultural shock and cultural differences that I experienced here in Limerick. So I don't really have any culture shock because I heard from people that the people in Ireland are very friendly, but I don't know that they are very that friendly. So if we pass a stranger when we're walking somewhere, they're gonna greet us and say, "How are you?" But we don't really do that in Indonesia, so I think that is one of the cultural shock that I experienced. I was very surprised in the beginning because people would just pass by me and say, "Hi, how are you?" and I would answer them. The cultural differences that I experience here, there are some. For example, we have to distinguish the rubbish that we throw. There are 3 rubbish bins. The first one is for the plastic waste, the second one is for the recycled waste, and the third one is general waste. So it's very different from Indonesia, because back home we just proceed to put everything in one place. Another interesting cultural shock that I experienced is that during my classes, we don't have to call the lecturers with Mr. or Mrs. We can just call them by name, and they are more comfortable if we call them by name. And this is a very different thing in Indonesia, from Limerick to Indonesia, because back home we always address the older people with Mr. or Miss. So I think it's very interesting. Although the first time I heard about it, I was pretty shocked, and I wasn't used to do that. I wasn't used to calling people by their first name. So I think it's very intriguing for us. Overall, I really loved my experience here in Limerick, University of Limerick. I met a lot of different people coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, different countries. People here are so friendly. I learned a lot of things from my modules that I've taken during the past 4 months. I learned how to communicate better with people here. I learned to develop my interpersonal skills as well. So overall, I'm very grateful that I have this experience, and I would love to have more time to study here again in Limerick if I get the chance again. Thank you very much.